Let's get right into it. These are going to be amazing makeup hacks throughout the entire tutorial that you can use to get the most flawless look ever. So let's get started. My skincare is already on. I am nicely hydrated and, as you can see, tanned. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I'm just glad I've got some color in my skin now. I have my hydration on, I have my moisturizer on. I'm gonna move straight in with a primer. I've got my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. Now I'm gonna get a decent amount of this on. We're gonna be going through hacks throughout the video, but I'm gonna be actually like introducing each hack to you. So I will let you know as we go along when there's a hack. So let's get this on. We're gonna first smooth this everywhere. There you go. So wherever you feel that you kind of need it, if you feel you don't need a primer, then that's fine. But personally, I still like to apply it. I would say there's two reasons I use a primer. One is because I want that barrier between my skincare and then makeup. And the second is I like it to just kind of like, just almost mattify certain areas. So I always go for a blurring or mattifying primer. Now, one more thing I want to do is get some of this Urban Decay Slick Day Brow on my brows so we can set these very sparse brows. And I just like to really get into the hair, so back and forth like that, coat it properly, and then I brush it up to the side like so, like that. Oh, let's not press that yet. I just nearly forgot my own rule. Okay, do it on this side. There you go, nicely brushed up. Now this is when I flatten it. So I just get my finger and I take it in the direction it's already going and flatten it so it stays put. That's it, my brows are prepped now. This is a great hack for skin texture. If you are worried about your skin texture showing through makeup or just generally not making it look very smooth, I know how it can make you feel, and it doesn't exactly make you feel the most confident. So this is a great hack for that. Now, I have got my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, but the Ultra Blurring one. Now, this is gonna work as kind of like your second step of primer. So we already have primer on the face. I've got my skincare on and my primer. Now I'm gonna go in with this as my second layer of primer. What you wanna do is get a nice fluff brush and you wanna get into this powder, but you're not applying too much powder to this brush. You just need the smallest amount. We're gonna just tap it on the back of the hand. And now this is where we're just gonna dust over this powder all over the skin. And this is just gonna kind of mattify the skin, but it's also creating like another layer there, which is kind of like blurring the skin even more. So it's just taking that kind of blur one step further, because the primer that I have on is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, which is blurring. So that's doing that first step. This is doing the second step, which is just taking it. It's almost like boosting that blurring effect. And you might be able to already see actually that my skin already looks a bit blurred. I mean, obviously I don't have perfect skin. I do have the dark circles, all the normal stuff that most people have. So I just want to keep it real with you. But then you basically carry on with the rest of your makeup as normal. This is your way to fake a smooth base. I'm so excited for you to see the end results of this, because you're going to be shocked at how your skin actually ends up looking. This hack is amazing for giving you more coverage, but less cake. So you don't want your foundation to look so heavy, but you also do want it to kind of like give you that coverage and just cover up any imperfections, pigmentation, all of the stuff we hate, but still make your skin look like skin. Now I'm gonna use my Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. So this is a tint, so the coverage is kind of like light to medium coverage. Now you can use any kind of foundation. I would highly recommend using something which is a light to medium coverage. You don't want to go for something full coverage with this, because the whole point is we don't want the cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this to the back of my hand. This shade is Tan 3. Okay, next we're gonna grab our Laura Mercier powder. This is the ultra blurring one. And we're gonna get a brush. Now this is just any old concealer brush. You wanna grab some of this powder, just a small amount, and we're gonna actually put this into the tint. So we're gonna now mix this together. You only need a small amount of powder, by the way. The more powder that you add to this, the thicker the consistency is gonna get. We only want to thicken it a very small amount. So next we're gonna mix this onto on the back of the hand. And you're gonna see it will thicken up, but not too much. If you wanna add more of that powder, you can go ahead. So this is nicely mixed. Now you're gonna get a brush. I'm using my BK Beauty 106 brush. By the way, this is one of the best foundation brushes. You can get 10% off with my code NINA10. Let's now buff into this foundation. You're gonna be amazed at how much amazing coverage we're gonna get, and the skin isn't gonna look cakey. So we're just gonna buff in this foundation. And you can take it under the eyes as well, you know, if you really want to get as much coverage from the foundation so that you don't have to actually use a lot of concealer. I'm going to show you one side first because I really want you to see the difference. Your foundation is going to apply amazing over this prepped, double layered, primed base that we have. How amazing is this coverage here? We've applied the smallest amount, by the way. Like, I don't feel like it's drastically different to the other side where it's like a mask, but at the same time, it's given us amazing coverage. I actually feel like I need minimal concealer now with this. Let's now go ahead to this side. And another thing you're really gonna notice with this base is you will need minimal powder on top to set this, because if anything, some of you actually might be able to get away with not setting this with powder if you really don't like setting with powder, because it has the powder in there. Can we just take a look at this base? Honestly, I really can't wait for you guys to try this. It's such an amazing hack. You are not gonna get a better finish, which is smoother, no cake, and still gives you the coverage that you need. Honestly, I'm so excited for you to try this. So on that note, I just want to add that if you feel that you get anything out of my videos, please do me a little favor in return and just hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit the little bell button, because that means that you don't miss any of my videos. These 3 little things, if you do them, it actually really does help my channel out, and it means the world to me. It shows me that you appreciate anything that I'm doing for you guys when it comes to my videos and the educational side. So yeah, thank you in advance. So moving on. We have another little hack for you here. If you really want long-lasting concealer, this is the way to do it. You don't have to go out looking for a long-lasting concealer. You can do this yourself at home by using only 2 products. So we're gonna get the concealer here, which is my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm gonna get some of this on the back of my hand. Now I'm gonna take a primer. Now I'm taking my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, which is the blurring one, and you want a tiny bit of this that you're gonna mix in. It's a very small amount, you don't need a lot. We're gonna mix the primer into this concealer. This is gonna give it a little bit more staying power. It's gonna really help it to kind of grip hold of the skin. So now you wanna use a beauty blender. You can use a damp one or a dry one, that's completely up to you. I personally prefer it to be damp. So I'm now gonna just buff into this concealer. So you really want to make sure you drag a little bit to the side of your hand, buff it into the sponge, so don't just go in and start dabbing on, because that's really not the way. So you want to really get it into the sponge so it's fully into the sponge, and then you're going to go onto the skin, and that gives you the most even finish. So we're going to go ahead and apply this onto my eyelids first, because I just want to get these little areas out of the way. Okay, so let me very quickly set my lids with a little bit of powder. So I'm just dusting off the powder. So just press it on and dust it off. Now to do the under eyes, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna buff it into the sponge. And now I'm just gonna go along the under eye area. Now I personally prefer to just apply my concealer on the under eye and maybe a little bit here just to shape the area, or just to lift the area. You will find that by mixing your primer into your concealer, you actually need less of the concealer, and also you won't need to apply as much powder on these areas. So the only other place I like to apply this is just there, because it just brightens up that area for me. Okay, so I feel like we're done with this part of the base now, but we do have a really interesting hack coming up. This is a great hack for your own personalized blush. You're only gonna need 2 products and it's super easy. So I've got my Makeup by Mario cream blush here. It's very bright, very vibrant, maybe a little bit too much for me, I think, but I do want it to kind of like be a bit more, I do want to personalize it, and I want to get this perfect shade, which is perfect for my skin tone. So what do I have that is perfect for my skin tone? I have my foundation, right? Because I'm happy with the color that I have for my foundation. So I'm going to take the foundation that I'm currently wearing. I am going to put the smallest amount of this on the back of my hand. It's just like a couple of not even a couple of drops, it's like 1 drop. I'm then going to take this cream blush. I'm gonna swirl my finger in here. I've got a whole load of it on my finger there, you can see. Gonna mix this into this foundation that's on the back of my hand. Again, the ratio is a very, very small amount of the foundation, like minimal, and you have way more of this blush. And that way you are going to create the most beautiful personalized blush on the back of your hand. Now, this is not going to be the same for everyone because your foundation shade is going to be different from the next person, right? So your shade is going to dictate the type of personalized blush that you get. It's going to be perfect for your skin tone because the colors in the foundation are going to mix perfectly with that blush to create what's right for your skin tone, because it's going to be sitting on top of that same foundation, right? Okay, so now that we've got this blush, we want to get a beauty blender. I've got the back of a beauty blender here. I'm going to just buff into some of this blush. Really buff it into the sponge before you go onto the face. And we're going to work on this area here. And I have no powder on. This is my base, obviously, with no powder. We're going to press this here. And it's actually going to melt perfectly into this foundation. There you go. You can see how this just is the perfect color. I like to apply it at the top parts of the cheekbone and just bring it in a little bit. And there you go. You have literally your perfect blush. So sometimes when you do buy blushes and you think, okay, maybe a little bit too bright for me, or you like it on the shelf, don't be afraid of getting it because there's always a way that you can customize it to your skin tone. Obviously, this only works with cream blushes or liquid blushes because it's just not going to work mixing the powder into the foundation and it's going to be really messy. So you really want to stick to cream blushes. Isn't it crazy what you can do? Like, I just feel like these are all things that I would do as a makeup artist when I'm working on clients. Like, these are things that I just want to, there's no gatekeeping here. I just want you to learn all of this for yourself as well and make the most of it. Do you always struggle with trying to find the perfect contour shade? I'm going to show you how you can create your very own personalized contour shade. All you need is a much darker concealer, like much darker. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Cocoa. Way too dark for my skin tone. And just an FYI, I like to use cream concealers, which are kind of light to medium coverage as my contour. I just feel like it's much easier finding the shade. And even then, if you don't find it, this is your way to kind of customize it. So we're gonna get some of this on the back of the hand here. Keep that wand on the side. You don't need to put it back into the concealer. You're gonna get any foundation. I've got the MAC Studio Radiance foundation here. This is a foundation that I use. It's not the foundation that I have on right now, but it is a foundation that I use very regularly. And this is gonna be mixed into this. We are gonna apply just a tiny bit of this foundation. So it should be more of that concealer, which is dark, and less of the foundation. We're then gonna mix these two together. And this is gonna make this the perfect shade for your skin tone. So we're gonna take that wand. We're gonna just kind of smooth it over all of this product that we have. So we're kind of picking up that product from the back of the hand. We're going to apply this wherever you want to contour. Now there's a couple of areas that I want to apply it to, such as just up here. Here, that helps to give me a little bit of a lift there. We're going to go underneath the jawline here. That's just to snatch the jawline. Now there is another place that I want to apply this, but usually I would go along this area here to create cheekbones. I want to show you a different way to do this. So we are just going to go around here and do a little dash there. So this is kind of like the end of where I would apply it if I was going all along here. Just a little dash there, that's it. Now we're going to get a brush. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion brush. There's nothing on this brush. We're just going to buff this in here. You'll find that you can do this very easily on top of foundation. And the reason being is because we've mixed in the foundation into this concealer shade, so it doesn't actually come up too dark on the skin. We're gonna do the jawline here. sometimes like contour shades are so dark that it just looks really disconnected on top of foundation. This way, you're really kind of customizing it to your skin tone. Now right here, we're not gonna really take it anywhere special. We're just gonna kind of just buff that and keep that where it is. And that's gonna give you like that really nice little dip there. So it's given us that little kind of like curve there under the cheekbone without it looking like we've just drawn it all in there. I know how hard it can be to find the perfect contour shade for you, so I'm really hoping you try this and it's a game changer for you. The same way it has been for me. So yeah, I hope you go away and try that and let me know how that goes, and let me know in the comments because I'd love to know what kind of hacks you're taking away from this. We're gonna go ahead and set everything with powder now. So I am gonna be using my Laura Mercier powder, and I've got my Makeup by Mario Powder Puff, which is my Master Pro, I think it's called. Now, first off, we wanna get rid of any creasing. So I just wanna go into this area here on the under eyes and just make sure there's nothing sitting in creases there. Now we're gonna really press into the powder and then into the palm of the hand. There you go. And then there you go. Just go along everywhere that you want to really kind of set and keep it locked in all day. First off, I'm going to get my Real Techniques brush. I have nothing on this brush and I'm just going to dust this powder off from the under eye area. I always dust it off there first because I don't like a cakey finish. Then I get the large side of my Hourglass Veil brush and I just dip it into the powder a little bit, not a lot. And then we're going to dust over the whole face. And that's just getting rid of all the other powder that's there. Right, we're gonna do the brows now, just get them out of the way. So first thing I'm gonna do is get my Kosas Brow Pop. This is in medium brown. I'm just gonna draw in little kind of feather strokes. I'm literally just drawing in little hair strokes. This is a great eyeshadow hack and you probably already have this stuff at home. I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Blurring Primer. We're going to get a very, very small amount, like a less than a pea-sized amount on the back of my hand. This is going to make your eyeshadow last all day, but we're not actually using eyeshadow. So this is my Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer in Reflect. Now this is like a really nice deep bronze shade. I personally don't think this lasts very well on the eyes. I love the color, but it is a little bit too liquidy for me. So I want to mix it in with this primer and this is going to help it to last. So we're just going to mix this together. There you go. Now you want to get an eyeshadow brush ready. This is my BK Beauty 206 brush. It's just a fluff brush. I've got the eyeshadow mix on my finger here. I'm just going to press this onto my lids and you're going to see just how amazing this looks. It's like luminous, obviously, but it is just so easy. You don't even have to actually blend it. If you do need to blend it, you can use this brush. There's nothing on it. And you just go into the crease just to get rid of any kind of like obvious harsh lines. But you can just keep going and patting this on. You're gonna feel that this dries really quickly. Like that, look at that. Honestly, it's stunning and it's so easy to do. So don't be afraid to use products that you probably already have in your makeup drawers, on your dressing table. It's really about playing around with them and seeing how textures work together and how certain products can really help other products to last all day. I mean, I'm going to apply some mascara and you're going to see what this really looks like because honestly, it is amazing. Now you can get a small fluff brush. This is like actually a pencil brush. This is the 207 brush from BK Beauty. We're going to go into that product and this is where we're going to go into the lower lash. You can go all the way across or just part of your lower lash. You'll understand how this lasts all day because it kind of like dries up pretty quick on the eye. I'm just gonna curl my lashes. It's literally the first thing you should be doing before you apply your mascara. This is my Hourglass Unlocked mascara. As you guys know, I love this mascara. It's such a good mascara. It doesn't run, it doesn't smudge, it stays put and doesn't get clumpy. We're just gonna add a little bit to the lower lashes. Some people really do not like mascara on the lower lashes. I mean, I really don't like it to look spidery. I kind of touch the tips of the lashes. I would not go from the root of the lower lash because I feel like it just looks a bit too much. But if I don't apply it, I do feel like I've kind of, you know, forgotten to do something. We're gonna add some cluster lashes. These actually just sit below the lash. These are by Velour. They kind of just grab hold of the underside, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I've got my YSL Lines Liberated pencil in black. I'm actually gonna use the brush on the other side. So now I am just gonna apply a little bit of this. Just like a little dash there. It's like a little flick, see that? We're gonna flip this over and we're just gonna drag what we've done upwards and outwards, just like that. But I'm gonna use my finger to just blur out the end of that flick. Now I like the flick, but I do wanna kind of apply a little bit more close to the lash line. So we've got that really nice lifted feline look. Let's do the same on the other side. You've got to make sure you look over to the other side just to make sure that you are going in the same direction. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just kind of like making sure that it's not disconnected to my lash line. There you go. It's honestly as simple as that. How stunning does the eyeshadow look? That little personalized eyeshadow that we made. So all we did is mix in the liquid luminizer from Rare Beauty in with a little bit of primer, and it's gonna last all day. It's dry, fully dry, guys. It's not sticky. It's gonna stay put. It's gonna give you that really nice kind of sheen. No creasing. The primer's gonna keep it in place, and yeah, you're welcome. I want you guys to try this. Let me know what you think in the comments. You might have your favorite liquid highlighter, mix it with a little bit of this blurring primer, and you are good to go. Okay, I am gonna just very quickly contour my nose. So I've got my Fenty Sunstalker in Private Island, my 200 Fenty brush, and I just wanna like very quickly just do this. So I just do this on the either side of the bridge of the nose, straight down, and then I just do a little V here. Just cut it off at the top there for a little button nose because I love that. Done with that, we're gonna finish off the lips. So I've got my Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat in Iconic Nude. I am really not a fan of lip liner looking really obvious. The first tip is get a lip liner that isn't too dark. So you want it to be just a touch deeper than your skin tone, but not a lot. It shouldn't be, there shouldn't be like a big contrast between your lip liner and your actual skin tone. Now, obviously you can see this, but it's really not super dark. But I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. And before I do that, I just wanna ask you a question. Do you want to join the ultimate beauty community. If you do, you need to head on over to the Beauty Breakfast Club. It is growing rapidly. We have built this really nice little community there, which help each other out. There are newsletters every other day. Consistent, by the way. I'm not one of those creators that says I'm going to do something and then I don't do it. Like, I genuinely post a new newsletter every other day, and it's been consistent. I've not missed one. It's everything about beauty, new product releases, new tips and tricks, hacks, how to do certain things, reviews on skincare, do certain products which, you know, are they worth the hype? Read about it there, links, special discounts, 2 versions of subscription. One is free, which gives you access to some of the site. The other is paid, and it's literally gonna cost you less than a latte a month. And that gives you access to the entire site, plus some exclusive perks, priority access. We get a little area where we can chat. We've actually got this whole chat going on. There's this huge chat group on my community of me and so many others that have come along from this YouTube like channel, like subscribers, and moved and headed on over there, and we're all just chatting about loads of beauty stuff, and it's just fun, you know? It's like being in a room with each other. So really do head on over there. I think you're gonna love it. Moving on, let's carry on with the lip. Now, before I go in with my lipstick, I just wanna use my little finger to just blur. And the trick is to create that blurred lip line is don't go up or down. You wanna go side to side, and I always wipe the tip of my finger off on the palm before I move on to the next area, because otherwise you're just moving around a whole load of product. There you go. Now it's a blurred lip line. You can't even see that I've got lip liner on. It just looks like my natural lip. This is my Violet France lip balm, and this is actually a matte lip balm. See, no shine. And it's just like, I think this is the color that I feel is like the closest to my natural lip color. So if you are similar kind of skin tone to me, or if you just want the lip color that you always see on me, this is one of the lipsticks that I use regularly. It's one of my everyday ones that I kind of alternate between. You're gonna love it. But yeah, that is my kind of everyday lip. So what do we think of this entire look? I hope these hacks have been amazing for you. I know that you're gonna use them. I know there are so many good ones. I mean, can we just look at the skin? Can we just look at the skin? I mean, all those hacks come together and it brings you this, right? So I really want you to try it out and let me know what you think. Everything is linked in the description, so head on over, make sure you check. There are codes as well that go with it. So not with everything, but there are some really good discount codes in there, so you wanna make sure that you get yourself a good deal as well. But other than that, I'm gonna see you on the next video.